What sounds do you think dolphins make? Most of us would probably say clicks and whistles, right? For a long time, even scientists thought these were just random noises or simple signals for things like danger or food. It seemed like a basic animal call system. But what if I told you they were wrong? What if those clicks and whistles are part of a conversation, a real exchange of information? Are dolphins just making noise, or are they actually talking? The answer might surprise you, because not only do they talk, but they also have something very similar to names, and humans have already figured out how to call them by it. Imagine having a name that wasn't a word, but a unique melody you invented for yourself. That's exactly what dolphins do. Shortly after a calf is born, it develops its own special tune called a signature whistle. This whistle is its personal identifier, its acoustic name tag. Other dolphins in the pod learn this whistle, and if they want to get that specific dolphin's attention, they'll mimic its signature whistle. It's like shouting, "Hey Bob," across a crowded room. Scientists have tested this by recording a dolphin's signature whistle and playing it back underwater. When the dolphin hears its own name, it responds, turning its head or swimming toward the sound source. They ignore other whistles. This proves they recognize themselves and each other as individuals. But believe it or not, having names is just the first layer of their incredibly complex communication system. So we know they have names, but what about the rest of their vocabulary? Let's break down their sound toolkit. First, you have the clicks. These are rapid, high-frequency sounds used for echolocation. Think of it as a biological sonar. They send out clicks and listen for the echoes to bounce back, creating a mental picture of their surroundings. This is how they navigate and find prey in dark or murky water. Then, you have the whistles. These are the more melodic, social sounds. This is where the signature whistles, or names, come in. But they also have a wide variety of other whistles for social bonding, expressing emotion and coordinating activities. And it doesn't stop with sound. Dolphins are masters of multi-channel communication. They combine their clicks and whistles with body language. A powerful tail slap on the water surface can be a warning or a sign of excitement. A sharp clap of the jaw can show aggression. And synchronized swimming, where two dolphins move in perfect unison, is a powerful display of alliance and friendship. They're talking with their voices and their bodies all at once. And here's where it gets even more fascinating. They can actually send different messages at the same time. Imagine trying to talk to your friend while also using a flashlight to send a Morse code message to someone else. It sounds impossible, but dolphins do something similar. They can use their echolocation clicks to scan for fish while simultaneously using whistles to chat with their podmates. This ability is on full display when they're hunting. Dolphin hunting isn't a chaotic free-for-all. It's a masterpiece of coordinated strategy, all directed by sound. Different pods have developed unique hunting techniques that require precise communication. For example, some pods of bottlenose dolphins in the open ocean will work together to herd a school of fish into a tight bait ball. They circle the fish, whistling and clicking to coordinate their movements, tightening the circle until the fish have nowhere to escape. Then, one by one, they take turns dashing through the ball to eat. In other parts of the world, dolphins use even more ingenious tools. Some create bubble nets, blowing rings of bubbles to trap fish. Others, in shallow coastal areas, will use their tails to stir up a ring of mud, confusing the fish and causing them to leap out of the water right into the dolphins' waiting mouths. Each of these complex strategies relies on every dolphin knowing its role and timing its actions perfectly, all communicated through a rapid-fire exchange of acoustic signals. But what's really mind-blowing is that the way they talk about the hunt can change depending on who they re with. Just like humans have different accents and dialects, so do dolphins. A pod of dolphins in Scotland sounds distinctly different from a pod in the Caribbean. Their repertoire of whistles, the frequency, and the patterns they use are unique to their social group. This isn't genetic, it's learned. Calves pick up the local dialect by listening to and imitating their mothers and other pod members. This cultural transmission of sound is a huge deal. It means their communication is flexible and adaptive. Scientists have even observed what happens when a dolphin moves from one pod to another. Over time, the newcomer will actually start to adjust its vocalizations, dropping its old accent and adopting the new one to better fit in with its new social group. It's the dolphin equivalent of moving to a new country and picking up the local slang to make friends. This social learning is incredibly advanced, but they don't just copy sounds. Sometimes they invent new ones. So dolphins have names, they use body language, they coordinate hunts, and they even have regional dialects. But does this all add up to a true language? One of the key components of human language is syntax, the idea that the order of words matters. Dog bites man is very different from man bites dog. Do dolphins have anything like this? To find out, researchers created an artificial language for dolphins using computer-generated sounds and hand gestures to represent objects like ball, hoop, and actions like fetch or under. They would then give commands like hoop, fetch, meaning fetch the hoop, and the dolphins would correctly perform the task. But then they switched it. They gave the command ball hoop fetch, meaning take the ball to the hoop. The dolphins understood this novel sentence structure. They understood that the order of the symbols changed the meaning of the command. This demonstrates that they can understand a rule-based system, a basic form of syntax. It's not just about what sounds you make, but the sequence you make them in. This is a far cry from random noises. So, does this qualify as language? It's a debate that's still ongoing, but understanding just how complex dolphin communication is has massive real-world implications. Our oceans are getting noisier. The constant hum of ship engines, the loud blasts of sonar, and the sounds of underwater construction create a thick acoustic smog. This noise pollution directly interferes with a dolphin's ability to communicate. It's like trying to have an important conversation next to a jackhammer. They can't hear each other's calls, they can't coordinate hunts, and mothers and calves can get separated. It disrupts their entire social fabric. In some tragic cases, scientists believe that loud bursts of military sonar have been linked to mass stranding events, where groups of whales and dolphins wash up on beaches, disoriented and injured. Their world is a world of sound, and when we pollute it, we're essentially blinding them and cutting them off from their families. So, the big question remains, do dolphins have a language? Maybe not in the way we think of it, with nouns, verbs, and complex grammar. But they have a communication system that is learned, culturally transmitted, symbolic, and incredibly complex. They have names, they have conversations, and they have culture. They prove that communication doesn't have to look like ours to be meaningful. This forces us to ask a much larger question. How many other animals out there have hidden languages that we are simply not yet equipped to understand?